Hi, my name is Dr. Myava Clark, and I support parents and caregivers of neurodivergent children by providing emotional support and practical tools without burnout, while they guide their children towards meaningful friendships and prevent them from being bullied. Today, I wanted to ask you a question. Do you know what neurodivergent means? Neurodivergent refers to the way a person's brain processes information, learns, or behaves differently than what that which is considered typical or normal. Okay. So if you have a child that thinks a little differently, they may be targeted more for bullying. They already potentially struggle with social skills, and they may speak a little differently, they may act a little differently, which causes other children to pick on them. And we don't want that. At CASEN, Collaborative Advancement for Social and Emotional Needs, we help build children up. We help build their confidence by identifying their value and showing them their self-worth so they will learn that it's not better to have negative attention than no attention. We want to empower them with the tools to be confident, to stand up for themselves. Because we know that bullying doesn't always leave bruises. Sometimes it leaves internal scars that these children have to deal with. So, are you aware of the different types of bullying? There are different types of bullying. We have verbal bullying, when people say mean things, they may tease you, name calling, taunting, or threatening to harm a child. We have bullying, which is hurting someone's reputation or their relationships, leaving someone out, spreading rumors, embarrassing them in public, or telling others not to be their friend. Does your child deal with any of this? We have physical bullying. Physical bullying is harming a person's body or belonging, hitting them, kicking them, pushing them, or breaking their things. And then we have cyberbullying, using phones, computers, or social media to hurt someone, posting mean comments, sharing private photos, spreading rumors online, or excluding someone from private chats. For children with learning differences and unique abilities, bullying may look a little different. Maybe they're ignored, talked down to, or mocked for having to communicate differently. And it is our jobs as adults, as parents, as educators to recognize these signs, to try to identify um, when they don't come to us, when they're not being open. It's our jobs to talk to them, to ask questions, to dig a little deeper, to see how they're coping, how they're feeling. And if a child struggles to fit in, then and they may have difficulty speaking up and coming to a trusted adult. Instead, they may withdraw, they may retreat. So it's very important for us to ask probing questions. And some things that we may want to do is model kindness. Our children watch how we speak to others. So if you have a child that may be neurotypical or a little more advanced in their skills, talk to them about how they respond to people that look differently or act differently. Model kindness, maybe give them tools and conversation of how they can be engaging or more empathetic towards people who are different. Or when they see someone being unkind, encourage them to be the person to speak up. and to be inclusive if they see a child that is sitting alone or don't have anyone to talk to. Encourage your child that doesn't have any issues or that may be a little stronger on the communication skills. Encourage them to go and talk to that person or include them in the game. Create open conversation. Ask your child how things are going in school and online, and listen without judgment. This is for both children, one that's neurodivergent and maybe one that's neurotypical. A neurotypical child is considered to be one that's typically developing. Ask them, how are things going? Um, Encourage them to like identify if they notice anyone being picked on, and go over what that might look like to them, just to make sure that you're on the same page. See what they say and offer situations and scenarios rather that may identify if someone is being picked on, and then ask them if you see someone in this situation, what would you do? And honestly, they may not feel comfortable stepping in to stop it, but at the least they can go and report it into an adult and have the adult come over and say something. So, and depending on the situation, maybe they would say, hey, come on over here, be with me, or we want you to come and be with us. Or they may say, knock it off to someone who's being mean or being the offender. Set clear boundaries. Let them know what respect looks like. Teach them how to respect their peers. Teach them what it looks like to be respected, and they don't have to tolerate um, behavior that is not warranted. Everyone deserves respect, and everyone should give respect. This is a give and take. This bullying stuff isn't just information for parents to look out to see if their children are bullied. This information is also for parents to look out and see if their children are in fact the bullies. It takes a bully to bully someone, and it takes a person to feel like a victim to be bullied. I mean, this is can be complicated, but as adults, educators, and parents, we can simplify it. We can also partner with the schools, go to assemblies, talk to them, see what they're doing about bullying, and then reinforce those things at home. Try to have some of the same language so the children are hearing it twice. They're hearing it at school, they're hearing it at home. They understand that it's not tolerated in school and it's not going to be tolerated at home. And if you find out your child is bullying someone, instead of being defensive and saying that wouldn't be my child, why don't you have a conversation with your child to see maybe they aren't aware of what they can be doing is considered bullying. For example, if they only think hitting, pushing, pinching, kicking someone is bullying, then they may not realize that what they're saying to a peer might be considered verbal bullying. It's up to us to really educate and hone in on what this does, because one thing for sure is bullying can lead to anxiety. It can lead to a child being isolated. It could lead to a child becoming depressed. And if a child and even a person period experiences prolonged depression, it can lead to burnout. It can lead to suicidal thoughts. They can try to hurt themselves or someone else. And we want to prevent that. We definitely don't want a child to even consider self-harm, or even trying to commit suicide. We don't want that. We don't want to feel like we failed to read the signs or to see um, what we could have done to prevent this. And sometimes we can do all that we can and still miss the mark. But I just feel compelled to educate us adults, educate us as educators to go a little deeper so we don't feel regret or anything from missing it and something happens to the child. And by no means am I saying that it's always someone's fault for missing it, but I don't want anybody to live with the guilt or the shame of missing it. We need to just do what we can do and pray and lead them the best that we can by empowering them and strengthening them to feel confident, to feel like they have a safe place to speak up where they can go and report it. So I just wanted us to do that. And I have something to share. Sometimes this is something that we can just share with the child. Sometimes we see someone being teased, left out, or hurt online or in person. Even if we aren't the ones doing it, watching it happen makes us a witness. A witness can make a big difference by speaking up, telling an adult, or showing kindness to the person being bullied. Staying silent can make the bully feel stronger and the victim feel more alone. What are some signs that someone might be getting bullied at school or online? That's a question you can ask your child. What are some signs? And that can help you open the conversation to really starting the openness and get them to have that back and forth with you. In my book, Help Support for Parents of Children with Learning and Thinking Differences to Feel Confident, Capable, and Fulfilled, I have a chapter on bullying in here, and I'm just going to read a portion of that chapter. Bullying that happens on the internet is called cyberbullying. StopBullying.gov defines this as sending harmful texts or instant messages, posting embarrassing photos or video on social media, and spreading mean rumors online or with cell phones. Cyberbullying includes the use of digital devices like cell phones, computers, and tablets to make another person feel angry, sad, or scared. It can occur through email, text, and apps or online and social media forums or gaming chats where people view, participate in, or share content. According to Catherine Kalanico, a medical writer, as a victim of cyberbullying, children can experience psychological effects such as depression, low self esteem, and anxiety. Although cyberbullying can affect a victim physically and mentally, they may keep quiet out of embarrassment, fear, or shame. Kalanico goes on to report that young people involved in cyberbullying, either as a target or a predator, can have lower levels of general well being in addition to depression, low self esteem, and anxiety. According to Julie Rowe, Special Projects editor at According to Julie Rowe, Special Projects editor at Understood.com, time. Children who learn and think differently are more likely to be bullied than their peers without learning differences. She says their differences, such as trouble reading or sitting still and receiving special services, can make them stand out from the crowd. The struggles of a child with learning and thinking differences may affect their confidence and self esteem, causing them to be a target for bullies. Often, children who bully want to feel powerful, so they pick on children they believe are weaker than they are or less likely to defend themselves, as well as children who seem less likely to speak up for themselves. Raw goes on to say children who are hyperactive or misbehave may also be targets of bullying because they are aggressive or easily upset. So, this is just a little bit, I'll go more into that as we go along, but encourage your child by having open conversations. It is not enough for schools to just go over bullying. It is our jobs as parents to also talk to our children, have these conversations, listen, and pay close attention because we do not want them to feel like they need to go through life alone. And you, as a parent, do not need to go through life alone. I have a support group called MOAC, Mothers of Exceptional Kids. This is for parents and caregivers of neurodivergent children as well as neurotypical children. We talk about different things. We discuss parenting. We discuss struggles that our children may be having. This is an environment for you to just feel supported and know that you do not need to do life alone. You can have other people on this journey with you. It is also open to professionals who are in this space to help parents. Feel free to join me every first Tuesday of the month. We have our next meeting coming up next week. Tuesday, November the 4th at 8 p.m. Please join us. Feel supported. Give support. We'd love to have you. Again, my name is Dr. Myava Clark, and I support parents and children of neurodivergent children by giving emotional support and practical tools without burnout while they guide their children toward meaningful friendships and prevent them from being bullied. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. Have an amazing night. Bye.